It's Aisha Love, founder of Multidimensional. You? I thought I would just jump on this impromptu live. I just wrapped the last Illuminate group call for this latest round, and I'm really impressed by the willingness of many of us now to show up authentically, vulnerably, the level of self-disclosures that we're initiating as to our own wounded motivation and shadow. It took me years to get here as a spiritual teacher. I too was in the spiritual bypass for many years. I was in the spiritual ego as well. And that's all okay. Those are parts of the journey. But ultimately, us healers, those who are here with soul plans to entrain more wholeness and coherence on the planet into more harmony and unity, are really circling the wagons and doing this inner work. Because the truth is, if we don't do the inner disarmament, and we don't meet ourselves with unconditional love, we can't return to the source love that we are. We're all source fractals. And there is so much judgment flying around the planet still, that it can seem really normal to stay in judgment and groupthink and bypass. But the actual healing, hey everyone, nice to see you here, nice to see you, Aria. The real healing is to find all the ways in which we are judging, disarm that within ourselves, because that's our shadow. That's the part of us that's like, it's not okay to be fill in the blank of whatever, you're running from. So having just come off of that call where everyone has shared for months now from the heart, deeply and profoundly, I'm committed more than ever to creating spaces like this. This live right now is one of them. I myself just yesterday and this morning circled my own wagons after acting out of my own fear patterns and realizing that the very thing I was intent on trying to avoid experiencing, I myself was perpetuating. Because that's what happens when we move out from fear versus love. So it's not about judging ourselves and getting it right. It's about really being willing to look at all the ways in which we don't love ourselves in order to paradoxically, become a master healer. Many of us want to be healers. That's our soul plan. But ironically, we can't get there by being attached to that outcome. We have to go through, many of us in this lifetime took on a lot of trauma. We took on the willingness to go through many, many spiritual initiations, which are designed to disabuse us of a wounded ego. So for example, I've shared on this channel, you only love yourself like I did when I see myself as successful, but not when I see myself as unsuccessful. Guess what we're going to bring ourselves? All sorts of life circumstances and opportunities to catalyze that. Some of the examples from today's call that I feel like might be very helpful to many others are this. Being criticized at work, but feeling like your ego identity is based on high performance and doing really well. And what do you mean I'm not doing well? How can you not see that? Why are you getting triggered that I'm doing so well? It's the gift to show us where from a young age we developed performative chasing love. I do really well. I'm a high achiever because underneath it, as children, we learn that got us validation, smiles, approval. But now it becomes a liability because we're out of balance and we're judging ourselves if we don't see ourselves as doing well, and that's not unconditional love. Being in trauma response, ancestrally inherited trauma response, creates a disorganized nervous system and disorganized attachment styles in relationships. So we tend to be messy. I have one of my family lines tends to be more messy than the others, and the other line went the other way. They became OCD and over-controlling. And it can be very easy for one to judge the other. Judgment's the curriculum because it shows us where we are not in unconditional love. Another person shared how they feel like a failure because they're not able to stay in their job and they're having health issues. And so it's not about making everything right so that we can then feel like we're successful and getting ourselves healed. It's recognizing that we judge feeling like a failure. That's the work, is to love the part that is seen as it's not okay to not be self-reliant, to be needy, to be a burden on others. This came up in the call too. Oof. So I hope this is helpful, me sharing all of this here and reflecting. October is World Psychic Hygiene Month. I proclaimed that last year and I'm sticking to it. I will be running a whole series of different things this month to help us take our psychic hygiene more seriously. As empaths, old souls, we can feel everything in the room. And from a young age, because we could feel it, we thought that meant it was ours and we were responsible for it. So we developed a rescuer tendency, and we're making sure everyone else is comfortable, putting our own needs last, and then resenting it. I can't have what I want came up in the call. I can't do what I want. I'm unsupported. No one will support me. These are all woundings that we are creating our reality from, and then we perpetuate it over and over and over again. Many of us have had enough of this. We're very tired. So we're saying, okay, Uncle, I give up. And here's what's really important. It's critical that we ask our spirit guides and our teams for help. I'm getting the train whistle on that one. Could I get a choo-choo? And then to literally in your body, take a step back from rushing in to do everything, to control everything, and see what else can put itself together. I won't lie, this is a work in progress for me still. Like I notice my natural impulse is to fix it, get in and fix it and manage it. And what is it like to just simply sit back and allow a different reordering and restructuring of reality? That's what we're being called forward into. And it's much easier when we do our psychic hygiene and clear our fields and keep them clear. Your intuition goes up, your clarity goes up, your discernment goes up. And, you know, I've been in shadow work now for the last year or so with clients after having done a deep dive of my own shadow excavation. And it is some of the most profound work we can do. And it doesn't have to be complicated. You can simply just invite in more self-disclosures. Show me what I'm ready to see. Somebody shared how they realized recently in a self-disclosure how critical they are of others at work. And you know, anyone kind of like finding their way to my channel, it's like gravitating towards me. It's because I've got the old wounded patterns of like having to be hyper independent, overachiever, right? So you're probably gonna vibe with that. Over functioning. So we need to bring ourselves back into balance in terms of receiving, asking for help, balancing out our functioning. And we've got this. This is what we're here for. We didn't come to just get lost in a human story and stay there. No judgment, because that's a valid experience. We came with the extra task of waking up in the human experience, realizing, wait, there's more to this story, and then taking on the daily task of meeting all of our wounding with more and more equanimity and unconditional love. Not to get it right, but to literally become unconditional love incarnate. And then we get into my fun multidimensional template work, which I could totally geek out on. And our fields become these beautiful balanced geometries and holographic projections, which entrain coherence and greater unity, equanimity-based unity. Not polarized unity, and new solutions and new creations and new constructs and new playgrounds then put themselves together from this space. So this is what I'll be talking about. I've got some new things I'm going to be putting together. The next Illuminate group, the small group container, I'm going to be doing more of these, but I'm going to tighten up the window because I think people need more support in a shorter amount of time. So it'll be a 5-week program, and I'll be opening that up in a couple of weeks. You've got this. You've so got this. The other big thing that wants to come through on this live right now is please, please, please take yourself out of self-exile. It can be really easy to be in isolation when you have this level of awareness, but the self-exile has to come to an end now because we are meant to be putting ourselves together into community and collaboration. And I get not all community is equal, right? It's not all space is safe yet or sacred. But I think there are more and more of these containers that are calling themselves into creation so that we can unwind a lot of the distortion that we continue to self-perpetuate here, thinking that this is just the way it is. But it's not. We're on that next awakening spiral to realize that, oh shoot, even the spiritual ego is still ego, right? Just because we have special abilities. The real game here is to remember that we are source love incarnate and to become that, emanate that. And then like we're bringing the whole thing back home into a higher harmonic of love, order, coherence, and joy, and get to create from that space. So that's all I have for you all. It's lovely to spend a little time and energy here in this space with you. And look for some fun events in October around psychic hygiene. And I just want you to know that I love you. I see you. I feel you. You are not alone. Keep going. And please ask your spirit teams for help. You can even ask me for help. I'm available 24/7 in the astral, okay? All right. We've got this. I love you. Bye for now.